We spoke of Marxism and went to bed on MC stomachs, said Lufuno Daniel Gogora. Today we're speaking of business and are prepared to buy a fat cook for $20, only if it's worth the $20, not because we are rich or loaded, but because we value the business efforts. Value Konala as the Mark Shopping Center and the Pick and Pay, one fat cook for $16.99, by any means anyway. So it will depend on you. We'll see what do you do with your fat cook to add its value to $20. We're talking business. Today, what I'd like to share with you is the principle of never stop learning. I remember I was attending one of the seminars, business talks, hosted by one of the most successful business person in the country, Dr. Marvin King, at the Regenesis Business School. And when it's a snack time and you are at a circle, you're with those highly profiled business CEOs from your Standard Bank, your Absa, your Discovery, and all those. So those CEOs, now it's a snack time. So when exactly you are you just chatting, having whatever you're having. Now one of them will raise a statement, an incomplete statement, and somebody will complete it, and they all raise their glasses to it, and you are left completely lost. You have no understanding. What exactly are they talking about? What is it? And one of them will notice, would say, no, this somebody is lost, and will ask you, aren't you familiar with the Dr. Marvin King principles, the Dr. Marvin King 4? And I'm like, no. The Dr. Marvin King 3? And I'm like, not yet. The Dr. Marvin King 2? No. The Dr. Marvin King 1? And I'm like, no. And they make you feel like you're stupid, you're in the wrong place, because you don't understand what they know. Not realizing, would say, you too, you are invited in this event. You even have your own reserved seats with your name and whatever. So there's something that qualifies you to be here. Not understanding what they understand doesn't mean you are completely stupid. What I've pledged is that the next time I'm invited there, I'll arrive there singing those 4 Dr. Marvin King principles like the Jerusalem song. Believe you me. So in business, we never stop learning. Those who have been the typists from the second or third industrial revolution, typing like I don't know how many words per minute, with those 15 years experience, had to adopt to the new technology or go home. Those who have been there in so many different industries using the previous skills had to learn or go home. So in the business world, you never stop learning. That's the rule number 5. Speaking of Marxism, I once witnessed a revolution of monkeys while I was working as a petrol attendant at the Forest Drive Motors in La Lucia. So our manager and the business owner was an old white lady, and she didn't mind. So ujwayele ukuthi every morning akhiphe izinto ezisalile ngayizolo, so lezi engisakwazi ukudayisa to the customers azise at the back of the apartment. For the monkeys, there's a forest at the back of the apartment, and then there's ocean. So the monkeys are just staying there, and they always get those free bread. They know with every day they have a crate or 2 of free bread from Ugogo, and it's their daily bread. Now one day, I salang izinkwa ngayizolo so there was nothing to give it to them. So mazithi ziyabona man ziyahamba ikhathi luthi izinkwa la endaweni yethu ayizadinwe inkawu zamobilizer zeze front seyingasadle enkobe zamuntu zixabene nawo wonke umuntu, we employee, we customer, they don't care whether you manager or they want bread. Sabaleka sonke sangena ngaphakathi. Wasala kugogo ke zama uyichazela, yazi wayezama uyichazela ukuthini. Kuyahlupha nanokufunda kakhulu lokho ugcina usufuna nokuchazela inkawu something. Agcina ethi calm down. As a attacker. Hey, speed engasibona esuka from ama-bowser, those petrol bowsers to inside the shop. Elandelwa amaqoqs ngemuva, ehamba emoyeni amaqoqs. Yes. One of the customers, I was say, are they angry or are they hungry? She responded harshly and like, nonsense. And then gave an instruction, take all the bread from the shelves and give it to the monkeys. I'll apologize to my customers. I'm not saying that's what Marxism is all about, but hey, as done. Now let's get into our fifth and the last part of emotional intelligence, giving yourself transcripts. The third and the last pursuit in the 6 seconds EQ model is entitled Give Yourself, and it is the most important one as it provides the necessary energy to keep the other 2 pursuits moving. With these pursuits, you will learn to do everything you do for a reason, the real essence of living on purpose. The competencies that you will acquire here will allow you to put your vision and mission into action, so you lead with integrity. The 2 competencies at stake include competency number 1, increasing empathy. The ability to recognize and appropriately respond to others' emotions and feelings is one of the most important competencies as a leader need to develop, and it is called empathy. Empathy is a non-judgmental openness to others' feelings and experiences, and a foundation of authentic relationships which build a connection and bind a team together. As you learn to exercise empathy, you begin to recognize both the pleasant and unpleasant feelings rushing through the others and genuinely care for what they are experiencing. Then you will show them your consent by listening, sharing, and responding appropriately. As a leader, do you struggle to take other people into account in your decision making? Or perhaps do you need to build stronger and trusting relationships with your team? Increasing your empathy is key towards achieving your goal. Try listening genuinely to someone today and you will have begun to exercise your empathy. Competency number 2, pursuing noble goals. This competency is the most important one of them all, as it helps you connect the dots every single day of your life as a leader. It gives your EQ its relevance by letting you examine your personal vision, mission, and legacy. So you use that conviction to set your goals and objectives. Simple puts its activities its activities, all of the other competencies. Something is qualified as noble when it has or shown fine personal qualities or high moral principles. Therefore, in this context, pursuing noble goals requires of you integrity and ethical behaviors, which helps you maintain focus, inspire others, and access your full potential. Which, with this competency, you will find the clarity of your noble goals. A noble goal typically contains a verb expressing how to pursue it, and a goal of the value you want to add to the world. A few examples of include promoting a fair society, strengthening food security in my community, and creating jobs to reduce the rate of unemployment in my country. Being able to identify clearly what your noble goals are will compel you to pay fierce attention to your daily choices to ensure that you are not undermining your life's purpose. Are your goals noble? I guess it's time to start redefining them. In conclusion, Starting to use your EQ is certainly the greatest decision you could make as a leader, and this will help you become a high-performing leader. I think it is time you started tapping into the power that lies within you for greater change, and that's what will help you achieve as the Takafa mindset. And the Takafa mindset, they have all the necessary tools to help you attain the best version of yourselves using EQ, and I cannot wait to start working with you and your team. Visit your www.takafamindset.net. Thank you so much. That was all for the emotional intelligence. For more questions, you can visit our WCM Media Facebook page, inbox us. We can discuss it. And the next thing we'll be talking about as from next week will be the financial management concepts, especially in the small businesses. And for those who are willing to get the business mentorship, can also request that at our Facebook page on WCM Media on Facebook. Thank you so much for that. Maybe someone will say, no, these talks are very good, but not for me. I'm an employee. I'm busy studying to achieve my honors degree, my master's degree, and get that promotion as well. That's a very, very good one. There's nothing wrong with that. But what you can do is to be our investor. If you are employed, you can be one of our investors. How can you become an investor in the small business? Mhlawumbe ungasakhela i-business center, just a half a whole size thing. That's an investment. A business center that will include your salon, your internet cafe, your car wash, your butchery, your tuck shop, your sport bar, and so forth, your laundry and so forth. So it's more of a shared prosperity. One customer ubhuti uzofika apaka imoto yakhe la acela ukuthi iwashwe, ahamba esalon ayogunda ikhanda, ayehle aye e-laundry ahambise i-laundry yakhe, angene internet cafe athenga ama-Google Play cards athi abamdownloadele music awuthandayo, angene e-butcher house inyama noma ise-restaurant, whatever the case is. So it's a shared prosperity, and all those you can start putting those small businesses together and start maybe renting it to them from as little as 15 rand to 20 rand per square meter. You'll make something like 10,000 rand per month, and it's a very, very huge investment. So that's how you can become part of this economic building plan. And I guess that's all for today, besides the call from the president, which allows us to dance all our way to economic recovery, singing our favorite song, the new national anthem, Jerusalem, Ikhaya lami, ilondoloze.